Hello, dear students, and good evening to everyone. Today I am going to provide you, as we were doing the civics part, so today I am going to provide you the chapter number 8 of civics, that is government and development, second part. Okay. In the previous part, we have discussed about what are public facilities. Okay. We have also seen that what is the role of government. Okay. In providing the public facilities to the citizen of the country. We have also learned about that there is inequality in the provision of the public facilities, so it is the responsibility of the government to provide facilities or public facilities in equally to each and every area or to each and every section of the country. Now in this part we are going to discuss about that what are we will learn about various sections. Okay, we will learn about transportation. Okay, we will learn about how government works for the betterment, or what are the schemes that are started by the government for the betterment or for providing the public facilities to the people. Okay, so let us, here I want to explain you that what is right to life. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the article 21 of the Indian Constitution that gives the right to life, and let's see that what is that right to life. Okay, so Article 21 of our Constitution guarantees right to life to all citizens of India. What are the provisions that are given in right to life? First of all, right to safe drinking water. That means every citizen of India has the right for, okay, for safe drinking water. That means it is the responsibility of the government to provide at least safe drinking water to every person of India. Right to food, that means it is the responsibility of the government to provide food also, as all of you are knowing that we are having the provision of rationing also. Okay, the government is responsible for providing the ration, that means the wheat or rice, okay, and all the necessary rations or grains that are necessary for living the comfortable life for each and every section. Okay, right to healthcare and sanitation. Right to healthcare, its basic example and the most important example is the COVID-19 pandemic only. Okay, in this COVID-19 pandemic, since it is our right to healthcare, that is why the government has provided us the healthcare facilities during this pandemic. Okay, sanitation, that means it is a responsibility of the government to keep the city neat and clean for us, and not only it is a responsibility of the government, but it is our duty also to keep it clean. Right to education, as I have explained you that right to education is the fundamental right now, and each and every child or children between the age group of 6 to 14 is having the right to compulsory and elementary education. Okay, so this is all about right to life, and whatever provisions are included in this right to life, that means government has to work to provide us all those necessities. Okay, so that we can live, or government should work for the welfare of its people. Okay, now next I'm going to explain you about everything you are knowing, that whenever a country or a government of a country, okay, the government decides, okay, for the betterment or for providing the public facilities to the people of that country. So how a government starts any program, like whenever we decide to go for a picnic also. Okay, so for that picnic also we will first make a plan. Okay, like that only, since it is government is working for the whole country, okay, for the whole people, it is such a vast population. That is why any task that is for providing the public facility is a very big task. It means that the government has to first plan out, okay, that in which field the government is going to do the work. Okay, from where the government will get the resources, how much money they are going to allocate for that particular program, as well as what are the officials that they are going to appoint for particular program. Okay, so what is plan? Plan is basically what it spells out how the resources of the nation should be put use. Okay, so every country or the every government of a country has to plan out that what are the resources they are going to put, how much money they are going to allocate for any of the program. Okay, the first they used to plan. Okay, so for this purpose only Planning Commission of India was set up. Okay, the Planning Commission of India was set up so that that commission can take or can make plans. Okay, can make plans for whatever that will take care of the needs of the people, and will make plan according to the needs arises. Okay, So let us see the next one. What is Planning Commission of India? The Planning Commission of India was an institution. Why I am using was, because it is not existing. So Planning Commission of India was an institution in the government of India that runs by the Indian government only, which formulates India's 5-year plans. Okay, जो इंडिया के 5-year plans को बनाता है. Okay, now the Planning Commission started the concept of 5-year plans, okay, for the long run program. Suppose that a government decides to make a bridge or a dam, okay, so making or constructing a bridge or constructing a dam is not a 1-year work or a 6-month work, okay. These all are the things that needs long duration of time. So for that purpose only the government introduced that they are going to make plan for 5 years at least, and for that only the Planning Commission works, okay. And from here only the concept of 5-year plans also come out. Now who is the chairperson or the chairman of Planning Commission? So the ex officio chairman is always the Prime Minister of India. Earlier we were having Planning Commission, now we are having Niti Aayog, okay. Earlier also the chairman of Planning Commission was Prime Minister only, that means currently Shri Narendra Modi is there, and this time we are having Niti Aayog, its chairman is also Prime Minister of India only, okay. Now we will see that how the planning is done in a country, or how a planning is done by the government. First of all, formulation, that means the planning is formed, okay, by Planning Commission. In this stage Planning Commission prepares draft, okay, as we are knowing that whenever we used to pass any bill in the parliament we have to make a draft, not we, the legislatures had to make the draft. That goes to National Development Council. National Development Council is also National Development Council is also a branch of this Planning Commission only, and that only decides, okay, that endorse the draft and that only forward it to the parliament. Adoption, next thing is in the parliament the debates and discussions are gone, ये सारी चीज़ें चलती हैं, and after that the parliament decides whether to proceed that draft to become a law or not. After that approval, after the approval of the parliament only, the draft becomes the planned document, and that draft only become a document, okay, when the president signs on it. Execution by executive. Now it is the responsibility of the executives to execute it, okay, to implement it, that how they are going to complete that particular plan. Supervision by officials. Now officials are appointed for the purpose to supervise that everything is going on properly or not. So like that only plan happens. All of you or all of us made plans for several things, okay, and we are only knowing that how plans are being executed. So like that only plans are being executed in country also. What was the need of Planning Commission? All of you are knowing that the Planning Commission of India was set up in 1950. That was the time when India got freedom in 1947 only, and in 1950 we were in need of Planning Commission because we were weak in all the aspects, whether it is political, economical, socio-cultural or technological. Let us see what were the factors that needs Planning Commission. If we will talk about political, so there was instability since India was partitioned into two nations, okay, India was divided into India and Pakistan, so political instability was also there. That is also the responsibility of the government, as well as economically we were also weak, okay, because our growth rate with respect to agriculture, industries, power, communication, we were in need of development in each and every sector, as well as there is a great need to increase the per capita income. That means it is very important that each and every person or each and every adult of India should have employment, okay. So for that purpose also they have to work. Socio-cultural, that means poverty was there, the literacy rate of India was very low, the population of India was increasing. Traditional attitude, that means to provide modern concept to the people, modern education to the people. So for all this purpose also there was a need of planning commission. Technological, so technologically also we were backward, so there was a great need to develop in technology also. So all these were the factors due to which there was a great need to establish a planning commission that works for the overall development of the country. Let us see. Now, if we will talk about the formation, so Planning Commission was constituted on 15th March 1950. It is a non-constitutional and advisory committee. Basically, it used to give advices because funds are allocated by the parliament only. Okay, so who is the first chairman? Since at that time the chairman, the prime minister of the country is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first chairman of this planning commission. Okay, and the first 5-year plan that executed by the planning commission was in the year 1951. Okay, and since it was of 5 year, so till 1951 to 1956. Let us move further and know about what are the functions of the planning commission. So first of all, the planning commission has to utilize country's resources according to necessity. That means whatever resources, natural resources are available in the country, it is the responsibility of the planning commission to check out that how they are going to utilize those natural resources according to the need of the people. Okay, formulation of 5-year plans to make effective use of resources. After that, they have to make a 5-year plan. Okay, they have to plan or strategize this thing, that where they are going to use the resources. Determination of national priorities. They have to also check out these things, that which are the sectors in India that needs urgent development. Like they have to invest in defense for the security of the country. They have to invest in agriculture, or whether they have to invest in education more. Okay, which section is the priority, that also the decision of planning commission only. Time to time appraisal for the progress achieved. Appraisal means the money provided. Planning commission is also responsible, okay, to appraise, to provide money, to provide funding for the progress, for the achievement, so that plan can run out smoothly. Okay, final clearance by National Development Council. Now final clearance is given by the National Development Council only. Earlier it was, okay, fixed budget of all states with the consent of prospective chief ministers. That means it is the responsibility of the planning commission only, since all the development will be take place in different states only. So it is the responsibility of their state chief ministers also to discuss about that what are the needs of their particular states, and according to that only the planning commission will introduce its plan to various states. Okay, now later on we will see National Development Council. What is National Development Council? So students, this council was established in the year 1952, okay, by the government of India, according to the first 5-year plan. When the first 5-year plan was started in 1951, that only introduced the National Development Council. Okay, it was basically started by the government of India. It is not a constitutional body, that means it is also a non-constitutional body, nor it is a statutory body. Okay, it is an independent body that runs under the Planning Commission of India. Okay, same belongs to here also. Who is the chairman? Chairman is only the prime minister of country. Okay, now let's see what are the objectives to start this National Development Council. The objectives are to strengthen and mobilize the effort and resource of the nation in support of the national plan. Whatever plan has been decided, so this National Development Council has to work for it. Okay, to promote common economic policies in all vital spheres. That means economic policies means हो गया कि which type of policies they will use so that the economy of the country can also increase. To ensure the balanced and rapid development of all parts of the country. As I have explained you that in comparison to the urban areas, rural areas are still underdeveloped and the public facilities are unequally divided. So this organization works for the balance and rapid development of each and every part of the country. Okay, but according to the Modi's government, proposed to be abolished by Modi government, when Modi government came in power, they tried to abolish this organization and all power transferred to Niti Aayog only. So please remember this thing, that the part of planning commission is National Development Council only, that works for the development of the country. Now, history of 5-year plans, from where we have adopted it. So the concept of 5-year plan was adopted from Soviet Union, that is Russia, okay, because Jawaharlal Nehru was impressed with the remarkable successes in industries, because Russia has adopted the concept of 5-year plan, and in that 5-year plan only Russia has developed a lot in the field of industries. So that is why Jawaharlal Nehru decided that this same 5-year plan they are also going to introduce in their country. Okay, so India has an extensive network set up to formulate 5-year plans under the supervision of the planning commission, and that is why the 5-year plan introduced in India, okay, in the year 1951. So first 5-year plan was introduced in the year 1951 till 1956. Okay, so as this plan was started by Jawaharlal Nehru only on 8th December 1951. Okay, so first of all, what was the main aim of the plan? The first plan sought to get the country's economy out of the cycle of poverty. That means this is the first 5-year plan that decided that they are going to improve the economic condition of the country and they are going to reduce, okay, the poverty of India. The plan address, basically this plan focused on the agrarian sector only. That means all of us are knowing that India is an agricultural country and most of the population of India rely on agriculture. That is why the planning commission or the first 5-year plans decided that they are going to improve the agrarian sector only, okay, by introducing HYV seeds, by introducing mechanization in the field of agriculture, by investing in the construction of dams, and by providing irrigation facilities, okay, and many other things that improve the condition of agriculture in India. Okay, so like this only, in different things they have invested money. In irrigation they have invested, okay, in transportation they have invested, in for industries development also they have invested, okay, but in for agriculture they have invested much more, okay, in comparison to every other sector. So first 5-year plan basically focused on the agriculture field only, okay, agrarian only. After this, after 1956, that means there were total 12 5-year plans executed in India, and the last 5-year plan was 12th 5-year plan, okay, and which started from the year 2012 and ended in the year 2017. After the 12th 5-year plan, the planning commission was changed to Niti Aayog, okay, and now the concept of 5-year plan is not existing anymore. So let us see what was the 12th 5-year plan. There are 12 5-year plan. Each and every plan is important, okay, but we are going to learn about only the first one and the 12th one. The government on 4th October approved the 12th 5-year plan to 2012 to 17 that set average growth target at 8.2%. That means the 12th 5-year plan, according to that, they have decided, or planning commission has decided that they will increase, okay, the growth rate or the development or the economic development of country to 8.2%. The theme of this 5-year plan was faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. That means this 5-year plan not focused only on one sector, it focused inclusive means overall development, okay. Faster, that means development should be fast, as well as sustainable. That means sustainable means क्या होता है? To utilize the resources judiciously. Okay. Next, what was the objective? Faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth. Okay, they tried that they will be able to achieve the economic growth up to 9 to 9.5%. Okay, they have also worked for increasing the performance in agriculture, as well as for providing job employment, okay, as well as in the field of industry, in the field of education, healthcare facilities, infrastructure of the country. In each, as well as they have also worked, or the 12th 5-year plan also worked for the betterment of the disadvantaged or the development of the backward sections of the society. So this is about the 5-year plans we have learned. Okay, we have learned about that in India there was one planning commission that works for the longer duration program and for the development of the country. The 5-year plan or the concept of 5-year plan was introduced by that planning commission only, or we have taken that idea from Russia. Okay, so with the 5-year plan, 12th 5-year plan from 1951 till 2017, India gained a lot of development. Okay, later on we will see about, now we will learn about each and every public facilities properly. Okay, in aspect to India, that what is the condition of these public facilities in India and what are the government organizations that are working for the development of these facilities in India. So very first we are going to talk about transportation. All of you are knowing about transportation is the very important facility that is only be provided by the government, because you will not be able to construct a centimeter of road also in front of your house. Okay, and for going from one place to another, each and every place you need a roadways, you need railways, you need airways. Okay, so this is the responsibility of the government to provide us these facilities. So if we will talk about transportation, so let us talk about first of all Indian roadways. If we will talk about Indian roadways, so India is having second largest road network in the world. That means India is having approximately 33 lakh kilometer of roads. Okay, roads of India are divided into 5 categories. There are different types of roads, as we can see here. We are having national highways also, we are having state highways that connect states, national highway. Okay, we are having major district roads also that connects districts, we are having other district roads and the village roads that connects villages. Okay, so national highways form only 2% of the total roads by length and carry about 40% of the traffic. National highways are only 2% of total length of the road. Okay, but they carry at least 40% of the traffic of India. Okay, there are varieties of road. Okay, single lane road is there, lane road is there in India, 4 lane, 6 lane and even 8 lane roads are also there in Indian highways. Okay, now how many roads or national highways or states highway is in India? So if we will talk about expressway, so about 200 kilometers of expressway is in India. Okay, now nearby recently one expressway is also constructed. Okay, in UP. National highways, if we will talk about 79,243 kilometer distance of national highways, we are having state highways also. So approximately 33 lakh kilometers of roadways network is there in India. Okay, now let us talk about the next one. Now which authority that is responsible for the purpose of maintaining and constructing roads in India? So the authority is National Highway Authority of India, that is NHAI. Okay, National Highways Authority of India, NHAI, is responsible for constructing as well as for maintaining the roadways in India. The National Highways Authority of India was constituted by an Act of Parliament, the National Highways Authority of India Act 1988. It is responsible for the development, maintenance, and management of national highways entrusted to it, and for matters connected or incidental thereto. The authority was operationalized in February 1995 with the appointment of full-time chairman and other members. This organization or this authority started working from 1995 only, and it was introduced, act was introduced in 1988. So this authority is only responsible for maintaining the highways of India. Let us talk about what are the major programs that were started by the Indian government to maintain and construct roadways in India. So very first is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So students, if we will talk about Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, so it was started by in the year 2000. Okay, and at that time it was started by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Shri Prabhujot Singh. Okay, they are credited to introduce this scheme to India. Okay, it is the scheme of central government. Let us see what are the aim objective of this scheme. to provide good all-weather road connectivity to unconnected villages. That means this Yojana works basically for connecting the roadways or for constructing the roads in the village areas. To provide necessary culverts and crossing drainage structures, that means it is also the responsibility of the government to provide a better drainage system across the roads also. To provide a better way of communication in remote areas. Remote areas means the areas that are on hilly areas, okay, the non-reachable area, the unreachable areas, the remote areas. The responsibility of the government is to construct under this program, to construct roadways to the remote areas. Okay, now the areas that are under this project were hill stations को रखा गया, hill states को, जिसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट सिक्किम था, हिमाचल प्रदेश, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, उत्तरांचल. डेजर्ट एरियाज को रखा गया एज आइडेंटिफाइड इन द डेजर्ट डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम. The tribal areas also, that means roads were being constructed to the areas near to the forest also. Okay, so this is about the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. About the next scheme I want to explain you, that is Jawahar Nehru National Urban Renewable Mission. So what was it? Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewable Mission, a massive city modernization scheme launched by the Government of India under Ministry of Urban Development. This program focused for developing the infrastructure in urban areas, in the city areas. Okay, what were the initiatives of this program? The initiative of the project was taken by the Government of India under Ministry of Urban Development. Okay, who started this program? So this program was started by Ministry of Urban Development and was firstly inaugurated by Dr. Manmohan Singh on 3rd December 2005. Okay, so this program was a huge mission which relates primarily to the development in context of urban areas focusing to Indian cities. So this program basically worked for the development of the city areas in India. The duration of the project was 7 years, from December 2005 to 31st March 2014. Up to this program ran, okay, and about 67 cities across the India was under this massive project. Or in 67 cities the development took place, or the urban development took place according to or under this project. So like this only government introduced various programs, okay, for the betterment or for the development of each and every sector. We have learned about the two schemes of the government. Let us move further and learn about the Indian Railways. Okay, now if we will talk about the Indian Railways, so India is having the, in your book it is giving first, but India is having the fourth largest railway network in the whole world. First is USA. Not only this much, India is also, or the Indian Railways is also providing a huge amount of job employment in India. That means it is the largest organization of India that provides highest job employment to the people of the country. Okay, so as all of you are knowing that Indian Railways or railways was introduced in India by Britishers only in the year 1853, and the first railway line, okay, was introduced from Bombay to Thane. Okay, so like this only, in India there are so many railway networks has been expanded till now. Almost every part of the country has been connected to the railways. So like this only, Indian Railways also work for the purpose of providing the faster transportation to the people of the country. Now let us talk about the aviation. If we will talk about aviation, that means airways. Okay, so in airways, if we will talk about the history of airways, so airline was set up under the Air Corporation Act 1853 with an initial capital of 32 million and started operation on 1st August 1953. So in India, airlines started working from 1st August 1953. Okay, airline industry in India was established after legislation, and after that only the Indian Airline Corporation was established for the purpose of domestic and regional routes. All of you are knowing about domestic and international flights. Domestic flights that runs within the country, and international flights that runs to different countries. Okay, so here some names are given that domestic airlines that comes to India before independence. Okay, and later on they merged and formed Indian Airlines कॉरपोरेशन. ठीक है, सारी कंपनीज मिल गई थी आपस में एंड दे फॉर्म्ड इंडियन एयरलाइन कॉरपोरेशन. सो दिस इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ aviation in India. India is currently the ninth largest aviation market in the world, and the speedy development took place in the field of aviation in India. It is handling 121 million domestic and 41 million international passengers. Today, more than 85 international airlines operate in India, and 5 Indian carriers connect over 40 countries. Okay, airline business growing at 27% per annum. That means it is growing very fast. Okay, and who is responsible for this purpose? Ministry of Civil Aviation is established that take place of the aviation industries in India. Okay, if we will talk about the domestic airlines of India, all of you are knowing a variety of names, a lots of names of the air industries. Air India is there, Go Airlines is there, Indigo is there, SpiceJet is there, and there are many more. Okay, that works in the field to provide transportation to the various countries in India. Okay, so this is about, in this we have learned about that some of the schemes that were started by India. Okay, and we have also learned about the planning commission, about the 5-year plans. In the next part, or in the third part of this video, I will explain you some of the major programs that are started by India, and we will learn about that how the Indian government worked to provide electrification or electricity to each and every part of the country. Okay, we will learn about what are the major programs that are started by the government of India. Okay, in the field of healthcare, we will learn about what government did in the field of education. Okay, and we will also see what government did for the rural development of the country. Okay, what government is doing for providing sanitation and for providing safe drinking water to the people. This all I will provide you in the next part of this video. So up to here I have explained you in this part. Please watch the video carefully, read your book. You will be able to understand each and everything of the chapter. This chapter is very easy. Only you have to remember the schemes and the programs that are started by the government. So I hope all of you will read the book, watch the video, and you will be able to understand the chapter well. So thank you, students.